Guys, big day, but also sad day. Today is the end of an era. We are in Lake Havasu right now. The 19 Daytona is outside. You guys haven't seen it much on the channel. It's because I never really drive it anymore. We got a new boat, the 22, you guys have seen videos on that, but the 19 needs to get sold. But the good news is we're pulling the engine out of it and we're gonna hold on to it just in case the 22 has problems. So we're gonna pull the engine on the 19 Daytona today. It's a big block Chevy. I'll go over it real quick. I'll show you guys the boat because it's a really badass boat. I've had it for about 6 years and this boat has been nothing but good to me. I had the engine rebuilt when I first got it and done a bunch of stuff to it, and it has been reliable. It's been running good ever since. But we have not driven the boat in, I would say, about a year. The last time I drove it was like a year ago. And we don't need two Eliminator Daytonas. So we're gonna get rid of this one. It's actually, it's for sale right now. There's actually a guy or two coming to look at it today. So hopefully he likes what he sees, but we need to pull the engine out of it. So she's ready to just go. Sign the pink, get rid of her. So let me show you this engine. Okay guys, this right here is my 19 Eliminator Daytona. This is a drag boat. It's literally called Eliminator Daytona Dragster. It's 19 foot, light lay, as you can tell. You can push this fiberglass in. It is very, 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 very light. So this boat was meant to haul ass. We've hauled plenty of ass in it. I will put some videos in right here. This boat is scary fast, scary fast. Luckily, we're keeping the heart. Keeping the heart, but we're selling everything else with the boat. Everything else, the seats, everything, all the gauges, we're selling all of that. So everything is gonna be pretty much drop-in ready. Take any big block Chevy you want and you can drop it right in. You can hook it up to the drive shaft, hook it up to the fuel system right here, the stacker tank. It's gonna be ready to go. It's got the place diverter. It's got a freshly built pump by B1 Racing. This pump right here is meant to turn some serious RPMs, some serious speed. So let's go over this motor real quick. This is a 548 big block Chevy. I think it's a 540 Chevy bow tie block, and it's got some Dart Big Chief heads on it. These things are huge. It's got an MSD ignition box. This is the waterproof one. It's got a huge ass oil filter. Let's see what else. So we got we actually have a super chiller. It's just a water to air intercooler. We got the PSI offshore racing blower. This thing is freaking huge. We got Enderly fuel injection, mechanical injection. So there is a fuel pump down here that is spun by the crankshaft that will deliver fuel all the way up to the hat. So there's one supply in the middle, two returns on the side. This is a 22-gallon IMCO stacker fuel tank. Other than that, oh, the engine's got some aftermarket stuff. It's got Ross pistons in it, Gesso rockers. It's got a Bryant crank in it. This boat and this engine right here is no joke. It's no joke. That's why we're gonna hold on to it. So I brought the hoist from home. I got a 1-ton engine stand, so it's rated for 2,000 pounds. It should be no more than like 1,100 pounds. So I wanted to make sure I got an overkill stand so that when it's sitting pretty right here in the garage, it's gonna look good. So the goal is, we're gonna try a few different things. Worst comes to worst, we're gonna pull the blower, the chiller, and the intake manifold off, and we're gonna use this valley cover plate. We can pull it like that, or we can just take the blower off, and then I have the load leveler. We can bolt the load leveler to all 4 corners of each head. So on all the outside corners, we can do that. Or what we are going to try to do is actually wrap a strap around the front and rear engine plates and just lift the whole engine out. That way we don't have to really take anything apart. Worst comes to worst, we will pull the blower off because it's super easy. There's only 8 bolts, 4 on each side. Once you pull the blower off, you can pull the chiller off, and then it just leaves you with the intake manifold. I'd rather not pull the intake manifold off because it's kind of a lot of work, but if we have to, we can, because that's the safest way to lift a big block. So we are pretty much just gonna unbolt everything. Luckily, it's not like under the hood of a car or anything like that. You just have to disconnect the fuel, the water lines, the electrical, and then that's pretty much it. Unbolt the motor, the plates, the engine plates, so it's 4 bolts, and then she will be ready to come out. See, this is all the electrical on the boat right here. So we just have to unbolt this, take off the MSD, and there's an auxiliary pump to prime the injection system. We'll pull that off so it's not in the way, and that's pretty much it though. All the oil lines stay with the boat. That's pretty much it. Everything should be pretty quick. I'm gonna put it on the time lapse. That way we can get to work, because someone is actually coming to look at it, and we want to at least have most of it done, because if this guy wants to take it, we want to be ready for the guy to literally take this thing. So I'm gonna set up the time lapse. We're gonna do various angles around, you know, maybe we'll put it right here, over here, over here, maybe put it up there and look down on it. First of all, we're gonna make sure the engine hoist even goes that high, because this motor is freaking tall as hell. Enough talking, we're gonna get to work. Let's get this engine out.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Turn the music back on. It may not look like much, but we pretty much got the whole engine isolated from the boat. We did leave the oil filter, because these are just oil filter extension lines. We did disconnect all the main water lines from the super chiller, from the supply and return. And then the supply goes in the block right here at a T. So we disconnected that. And then we disconnected the water lines that come out of the top of the intake manifold on both sides. We got those out. We got the fuel lines to the injector hat off. Headers are off just because we needed more room to get to stuff. There's like a whole little engine harness that kind of runs in the back of here. I got all that off and shoved back there. It's the MSD box, and the whole power distribution box goes right here. And then pretty much all this other stuff can stay with the motor. I did unbolt the starter, because on boats all the powers run through the starter. The hoist won't go high enough. So if we leave the blower on the motor and we just wrap straps around it just to pull it out, the hoist can handle it. It's not a big deal, but it can't go that high. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to pull the blower off now, and the chiller. That way we can get the hoist nice and low, because remember, once it's attached to the engine, now we still have to lift the engine about 2 feet just to get it above the hull of the boat, so we could slide the boat out of the way. 8 bolts for the blower, 4 on this side, 4 on the other side, and then we'll figure out a way to rig the blower to the hoist, and we will just, shit, I don't even know if the hoist will even go that high to lift the blower off of the actual boat. We're gonna see. I think we should be able to do it, because we only have to lift the blower. See, these are blower studs, so we only have to lift it, what is that? I don't know, 8 inches maybe? So if we can get that up there, we can lift it 8 inches, then we should be in pretty good shape. Get the blower off. So now,
I'll give you 8 inches.
So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna loosen this tensioner pulley on the blower belt. We're gonna pull the blower belt off, pull the 8 bolts off, slide that off. So that's gonna be our next thing we tackle. This guy right here, man, we got an engine hoist. And he's like, no, we're gonna grab it by hand. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, you're gonna get in the front, I'm gonna get in the back, and we're gonna grab it by hand. I'm like, dude, there's no way. Well, he was right, but it was heavy as hell. This combo has to weigh over 100 pounds. Look how big this blower looks on the ground. It's freaking huge.
Okay, cut the weights off. That's good.
Yep. We'll leave the rest on. Hell yeah, we did it, man.
We still got a lot of work to do, though.
Yeah, we got a lot of work to do. Luckily, it looks like we were able to clear the flex plate and the drive shaft adapter, and we were able to get this thing bolted on. Barely, we got it bolted on though. Now, we're gonna lift it back up, throw it on the stand, and then we're gonna see, hopefully it's a 2,000 pound stand, so it should be able to hold this. We should be able to throw the blower back on. We should be able to throw the super chiller back on and everything back on. So we're gonna have the complete engine assembly just ready to go, chilling on the stand, looking good. So let's lift this sucker up for the last time, hopefully. Okay guys, it's in. The pin's in, motor's in. We're in good shape. The motor is straight. So what we're gonna do, we have everything pretty much off now. What we're gonna do is actually, we're gonna try to drop the blower on here. We just kind of did the bounce test. Yeah, it's a little bouncy. This stand's meant to hold 2,000 pounds, so we're gonna be half of that. But you know, this is a China stand. I pretty much was thinking, well, if I wanna hold a 1,000 pound motor, I better get a 2,000 pound lift. But it's a cheap lift, so it's really 1,000 pounds. So technically, it's already at its max. I don't know, man, we'll see. Okay, the hard work is done. Engine is out of the Daytona. We pretty much made a mess. It's on the stand now. I got the blower on there and everything. We use these two pieces of wood on under the where the oil pan meets the block on each side, just to kind of take some weight off the stand, because this engine is very, very heavy. So we got that thing sitting here. We're gonna wipe it down a little bit later, but for now, we're gonna fire up to 22 and we're gonna take it for a putt. It's been a while since she's been on the water, so let's see. Get this thing fired up. It's been charging, and then we can take it out. So we went to Parker today. I've been a Parker and shoot, I don't know, 2.5 years on the water. So we took the Daytona to Parker. Look at this thing. It's getting freaking tossed around. The water is actually pretty busy today. So hopefully the boat does okay. We'll go in there and flip the bilge in a minute, but we got our food waiting for us. This place is actually pretty packed for it not being a busy holiday weekend. Here it is, Parker Upper Dam, guys. First time here in the Daytona. We're gonna drink a beer, turn on some music, and we're gonna chill for a minute. sounds good. All right, the diesel didn't spin. They got a nice grippy ramp here. That's why I like Pirates Den. Yeah, on side 6, we were spinning like crazy. The good old freaking Duramax, Colorado. Good day in the water, guys. Hopefully I filmed enough, so when I'm editing this, I can actually get a decent video in for you. I just thought it would be fun to take you guys with me because you guys are the ones who pretty much said, hey man, we like the cars, but hey, we like the boats too. So if you go out there, get some footy. I was like, all right, I could do that. I look like an idiot holding a camera, but it's all good. It's for you guys, so that's it. We're gonna clean up the boat. See you guys back home. All right, we're gonna crack a beer, Stone Cold Steve Austin style. We're gonna crack them open, smash them with a beautiful background. Oh, we're gonna make a fucking mess. All right. We got all over the GoPro too. All right, man, get the hose. Let's wash this off. Let's get to the reason why I pulled this engine. The reason why we pulled this engine is because this engine is very expensive, and pricing the boat with the engine in it, it's a very small market for people who want a boat like this with an engine like this. So we just pulled it out. We're gonna keep it as a backup for the new Daytona. Runs good, but you know, one day maybe it might not. So basically, this whole boat is for sale right now. It's got brand new wheels and tires on it. It's got pretty much everything that's ready to bolt a big block Chevy in. It's got the plates right here. It's got the bell housing. So pretty much just drop your big block Chevy in there, connect the drive shaft. It's got all the wiring pretty much. The only thing that I took was the MSD box. So you're gonna have to have your own MSD box and your own coil. But other than that, this thing is completely ready. I left all the lines here if you wanna run an intercooler. I have the water lines for the intercoolers, spilling that everywhere. And then the gas line's right there. It's like a dash, I think it's like a dash 12. And then we have another gas line for an auxiliary pump because you need an auxiliary pump. You don't need it, but it's easier to start a mechanically injected motor with an auxiliary pump until the crankshaft gets spinning to create the fuel pressure that it needs. So we've got a 22-gallon IMCO stacker tank in here. As you can see, there's 3 ports up here for returns if you're running an injection system or anything like that. All the water lines are here. As you can see, there's a gate valve there to control the water in from the jet pump. Like I said, the intercooler out, intercooler in is back there. Up here we got the Vorsi gauges. We got voltage, water, oil pressure, RPM. Pretty much it's a turnkey style boat. And bilge pump. This is the auxiliary pump switch right here. The starter over there is on the left side. It's push to start. We got the place diverter right here. Let's go over the pump. The pump, this is a setback Berkeley pump. It's got, let's just go ahead. It's got a droop snoot, the place diverter. It's got forward reverse. It's got a ride plate with a wedge right here. So the ride plate, the intake grate. It's got a really hefty intake grate in there. It's got a lot of shoe. Shoe is what pretty much is right here in the back. I think we're gonna include extra for sale in the price. So any questions about this boat, hit me up. If it is sold, I will put it in the comments, or if I don't put anything in the comments, just ask me, hey, is this still for sale? I will let you know. And trailer's in pretty good shape. Got a really long tongue on it. There's the bottom of the boat. It's kind of dirty, but you guys get the idea. Bottom of the boat. And yeah, if anybody wants to buy this boat, hit me up. Make sure to check the comments. If I have a pinned comment saying it's sold, don't ask me if it's for sale.